About it, how about it, how about it? That's right, that's right. We're here. Are you ready? 7 ways to turn obstacles into opportunities. Let's go.
Good morning and welcome to hashtag Rise and Grind. I am your host, Glenn Lundy. I am a husband to 1, a father to 7, and the creator of what is going to be the #1 most watched morning show in the world. It is 5:30 a.m. and I hope that you are ready to rise and grind.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you, my friend? How are you, my friend? Today is Tuesday. Whew, I need a shave. It's like it's still Movember up in here. No shave November or whatever they call that. Today is Tuesday, December 3rd, 2019. That's right. Today is Tuesday, December 3rd, 2019. And what's crazy is today is the very first and very last time it will ever be Tuesday, December 3rd, 2019. So I want to make sure we make the absolute most of this absolutely incredible day. Fair enough? Let's make the absolute most of this absolutely incredible day. Listen, it is a balmy 32 degrees outside today. That's right, 32 degrees here in Lexington, Kentucky. We've got a high of 41. Not bad, right? We've got a high of 41 degrees. Now listen, it's cold outside, but it is definitely not Flagstaff, Arizona cold. You see, this is Flagstaff, Arizona. This is what it looks like. See, most people, when they think of Arizona, you think of sun, you think of Phoenix, you think of desert, you think it's hot. But there's this area that I grew up in called Flagstaff, Arizona. And in Flagstaff, we're up in the mountains, elevation 7,500 feet. Okay, 7,500 feet. So to give you an example of how high that is, you've got the Mile High City, right? They always talk about Denver, Colorado, the Mile High City. Well, the Mile High City sits at 5,216 feet. Is that right? 5,216. It's early, right around 5,200 feet elevation. Flagstaff, Arizona, however, is at 7,500 feet. It snows about 6 months out of the year in Flagstaff. Now, this is a smaller city. When I was there, it was population about 30,000. Now it's population roughly about 70,000. So a lot more people have moved there. But what's interesting is different than Kentucky, where here in Kentucky, they'll call like school off for cold. Out there, they rarely called school off. I mean, we'd get snow, maybe not like this. This is a lot of snow, but we'd get some snow and they'd give us a snow day delay. We'd have a little bit longer to get to school, but they actually wouldn't call school off. So it was a rarity when they did. But when they did call school off, I'll tell you, man, me and my friend James used to get so incredibly excited because there'd be all this snow outside. They'd call school out, but of course you still had to go to work. Right? Like if you were an adult, there was no breaks. It wasn't like, oh, it snowed 2 feet. You don't have to go to work today. No, that didn't happen. Especially for me in the automotive industry. It was like, oh, it snowed 2 feet. You need to get in early because we got to clear the snow off of these cars so we can sell these cars. So every once in a while, they would cancel school. It was rare, but it would happen. And when they canceled school, me and my best friend, James Sims, this is not us, by the way. I could not find a picture of us shoveling snow, but it looks similar. That could possibly be at the right angle and your phone being a small screen. That could possibly be me and James. So when they would cancel school, my friend James and I would go grab our shovels. We'd throw on our snowsuits. We'd cover ourselves up so that we could be warm. And we'd start knocking door to door. I'd go door to door and we'd say, hey, hi, Janelle Griego. I know you still got to go to work today, and I know you've got a bunch of snow out there. You probably need to take a shower. Would you like for us to shovel your driveway so when you're ready to go to work, you could go to work? And Janelle would say, of course, how much is it? And we'd charge $10 a driveway or $15 a driveway, whatever it was, to get the driveway cleared. And then we'd go over to Jeremy Noling's house and we'd knock on his door, and we'd go to Whitney Wells and Tabby Negrit and Don Sankey and Brad Smith, and we'd just knock door to door to door, and we would rack up cash, man. we would rack up cash. Because first of all, you can't say no to me, especially like the kid version of me, way too cute. So you couldn't say no to me when I offered that up. Plus, also, I mean, what adult doesn't want to have to not deal with all of that snow out there, right? So we would stack up cash. And then once we'd made a bunch of money, we shoveled a bunch of driveways. Once we got done with that, we'd run over to the Mega Foods, which was right next door to my apartment complex, and we would load up on candy. My goodness, man. We'd buy candy and football cards and baseball cards and basketball cards, and we'd spend the rest of the day trading cards and playing board games and eating candy while our parents were off at work dealing with the snow. We would enjoy that snow day. Man, we would enjoy it. We would enjoy every ounce of it. And I just think it's so funny how as kids we were able to adapt so quickly, right? Like we were able to adapt. I mean, instantly it was like, boom, snow, perfect. That's an amazing opportunity. Let's go shovel. Let's make money. Let's eat candy, right? That's where the brain went. Snow, shovel, candy. That's how it works. As adults, it's like snow. Oh my gosh, it's going to make traffic and it's going to take longer and I got to clear the car off and it's going to be cold and I got to bundle up, right? We don't adapt as quickly as adults. Instead, we allow those obstacles to get in our way. In your planner today, if you're diving into your planner every single day like you should be, the hashtag Rise and Grind planner, in your planner today, which, by the way, we have the new ones out. If you haven't seen, the 2020 planner is now available. You can go get yourself one anytime you want. But if you're diving into your planner every day like you should be, right here at the top of your planner, December 3rd, it says, turn your obstacles into opportunities and your problems into possibilities. Turn your obstacles into opportunities and turn your problems into possibilities. That was a quote by Roy Bennett, which I appreciate. I appreciate it a lot, especially as I read it. These quotes in the planner, they always seem to be very timely. I don't know if you've noticed that. They always seem to be very timely. And so as I read that quote, I thought, man, I have a very dear friend named Brian Benstock. My dear friend Brian Benstock, he lives by this motto of turning your obstacles into opportunities and your problems into possibilities. You see, Brian Benstock is an absolute master at this. This is him, my friend. He's just joined a couple different companies. He brought them together, Team Velocity, which is a company that he works for, or not that he works for, that he helps endorse. I believe he's on the board, and maybe he is a part of that company. He just combined them with another tech company to create solutions in the auto industry. You see, Brian Benstock has managed to find all of the obstacles, right? He's really good at uncovering the problems and the obstacles in the auto industry, and he begins to think of the possibilities. Him thinking of these possibilities has led him to get many awards, including his dealership. His Honda dealership in Queens, New York, is the #1 Honda dealership in the world. #1 in the world. He's been able to develop relationships. Sorry, wrong picture. He's been able to develop relationships with Google and relationships with Facebook. He's been able to grow. They grew, his service department has grown like 800% in the last 2 years. He's also been able to develop relationships with good guys like myself and Eric Thomas. So on his birthday just a couple weeks ago, we reached out to Eric Thomas. I reached out to Eric Thomas, the #1 motivational speaker in the world, and we were able to get him an autographed pair of the CP312s. This is only one pair of shoes like this in existence, because, I mean, what do you get a guy like Brian Benstock for his birthday? I mean, seriously, the guy owns a bunch of property in Manhattan. He's a big wig. He's #1 in the world. I mean, golly, what do you get the guy? So we got him some signed shoes, which was awesome. I believe he really appreciated those. But my man Brian is a master at taking obstacles and turning them into opportunities. You see, he saw that travel, especially in New York, where it's crowded and congested and there's constantly traffic, he saw that travel to and from his dealership was an obstacle. So then what he did is, instead of complaining, oh, the traffic's always too much, I wish we were in a different location, if we were over here, we could sell more cars. Instead of complaining about the obstacles, he looked at an opportunity and said, well, how do we remove travel from the equation? Uber's been able to do it. Lyft's been able to do it. They've been able to remove these obstacles and change the way people move around. So how could we change it to where we can now create an opportunity, not just an opportunity to serve our customer better, but an opportunity to smash and crush our competition that can't keep up, ultimately dominating all of his competition. You see, what most people saw as an obstacle, he saw as an opportunity. The obstacles in your life are potentially your greatest opportunity. And that's what I want to dive into today on hashtag Rise and Grind. Fair enough? Fair enough. Let's do it. Before we dive in too deep, though, let's get that body going. Let's get the heart pumping a little bit. Let's get the blood flowing a little bit as we're waking up this morning. You know what I'm saying? For those of you that know, and those of you that don't know, this is the part of the show where I need you to hit that share button. That's right. I need you to hit that share button, because I believe if we can change the way people start their day, it'll make a massive impact on this planet. I truly believe that. And sometimes all it takes to change the way somebody starts their day is for you to hit that share button. Don't let that fall on deaf ears. I'm not playing. Hit the share button. Watch what happens. What's up, Mike Brockway? This is also the part of the show where I want to say good morning to you. I want you to say good morning to me. Whether you're watching live or you're watching on replay, say what's up. I'll go back in. I'll say what's up back. How you doing, Melissa Young-Klein? What's up, JJ Bain and Kara Jackson? Bruce Pulver's up in here. How you doing, AJ Anderson, Jeff Baker, Jennifer Jaskell, Archie K? What's up, Mike Overfelt, Whitney Wells? Emily Goffler's up in here. How you doing, Mrs. Kim Wilson, my farm girlfriend? What's up, Joanna Hamilton? How you doing, Amy Bricker, Lisa White, Kristen? How you doing, Kristen Hawk? Man, you guys need to follow Kristen Hawk Tibbs. She always has the most positive, energetic photos on her feed. What's up, Lisa White Johnson? Adam Aaron says, sup, with a little head nod. I appreciate that. What's up, Vicky Everett? How's that, baby? What's up, Michael Mills, Casey Rossiter, Melissa Jones, aka #1 fan, right over here, over my shoulder. What's up, Jesse I Can Spark Man? Ray Hatcher's up in here. Mrs. Laura Berman, Frank Rivera, Prince Sinsuit, Casey Sanford's up in here. What's up, David Kuykendall? Scott Simons. I was just thinking about you, Scott Simons. Is Liza up in here too? What's up, Liza Myers Borges? I'll be on the phone with you a little later today, and I can't wait. How you doing, Amanda Sanner, John Lamb, Whitney Wells, Tony Thorstad? Everybody's up in here this morning on hashtag Rise and Grind. Listen, there's an old fable. And there was a king. The king of he was the king of this small village, this small city. It had one entrance. It had one way in and one way out. And the king started to think, he was looking around, and he was like, man, my people are starting to get pretty soft, right? He was looking around. How you doing, Wendy Reeves and Kurt Cahill? He was looking around. He's like, my people are getting soft. Like, they're lazy, they're getting fat. Like, I've created this incredible kingdom, and everybody's just kind of sitting around. They're doing their thing. They're surviving, but they're not thriving. They're not pushing it to the highest limit, right? What's up, Michael Gazdick? Michael understands about that. People sitting around being soft. And so what he decided to do is he took this really large boulder, and he blocked the entrance to the city. And then he went over and he hid, and he watched. He watched his people. He wanted to see what would happen as they approached this obstacle. What's up, Ashley Garrett? How are you? He wanted to see what happened as they approached this obstacle. Like, would they band together and remove the obstacle, or what would happen? He wanted to know. And so he placed the obstacle, he sat back, he watched. And as people began to approach the obstacle, a lot of them just saw it and quit. They just walked off. Then there were other people that saw the obstacle, and they even had the audacity to curse and cuss the king for allowing this obstacle to be in the way, for allowing this obstacle to keep them out of the city or to keep them from leaving the city. They would curse him. He saw him. He's like, are you kidding me? I built this incredible kingdom. And now because there's an obstacle in the way, you're going to curse me? So after a few days of watching people either quit or get discouraged or with very minimal effort try to move the boulder and then continue on, or to even curse and complain about the king, up walked a peasant. This peasant walked up and saw the obstacle in his path, and he decided to run over to the side. He went over into the woods and he grabbed a big stick and he turned it into a lever. He created, or a lever, I guess it's called. He created a lever, and he was able to wedge it under the boulder, and he was able to roll the boulder out of the path. He was able to remove the obstacle. And when he did so, he found a pile of gold had been placed directly underneath the boulder. And there was also a note. And on that note, it said, and I quote, "The obstacle in the path becomes the path. Never forget, every obstacle is an opportunity to improve our condition." Just absorb that for a minute. You see, the obstacle in the path becomes the path. Don't skip over that. You see, for him, that obstacle, the boulder that was in the way, he decided to create something new. He created a lever or lever, whatever way you say it. And in creating that, he was able to ultimately go from peasant to rich. He was ultimately able to find the gold that lay underneath the obstacle, while everyone else quit, went around, or complained. You see, the gold is in the obstacle. The obstacle in the path becomes the path. That's what's really strong about Brian Benstock, is he's been able to see that. He's been able to see that the obstacles in the auto industry, the things that are in the way, these are the actual path. These are the opportunities for him to dominate, for him to win, for him to grow. You see, the obstacle becomes the path. Now you might be asking, well, okay, great, Glenn, I understand that. I get that. I accept that. I will absorb that. I will allow that to sink in this morning. However, I need some steps. Like how? How do I turn that obstacle, that struggle, that thing I'm dealing with in my life? How do I shift that to where it becomes my opportunity? How do I do that? And so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you 7 things right now. I'm going to give you 7 ways to turn obstacles into opportunities. So Mike Brockway, I'm glad you're here this morning. You're going to go ahead and take notes. If you don't have a pen, go grab a pen real quick. If you're not sitting down, you might want to sit down. Liza's probably out there running right now. You might have to go back on the replay because I know it's hard to take notes while you're running. All right. I'm going to give you the how. I'm going to give you 7 ways, 7 simple steps that you can apply to turn obstacles into opportunities for you and in your life, and turn your problems into possibilities. Fair enough? Fair enough. All right, number 1, the very first thing in order to turn obstacles into opportunities is you have to change your perspective. You see, perspective is really everything in life. It's how we look at things that ultimately is how we perceive them. You see, what we tend to do is we tend to look at the problem and we look at it from a certain perspective. We say, well, this is going to get in the way. We say, well, this is going to slow me down. We say, well, this is going to be inconvenient. Whereas when we shift our perspective, if we change the way we look at things, the things we look at change. You see, James and I had a completely different perspective on snow. For us, a big snowstorm was our opportunity. It was our opportunity to create income so that we could go out and get candy. It's all about perspective. If you want the obstacles in your life to become your opportunities, you have to start by changing your perspective. The second thing that you're going to have to do if you want to take the problems in your life and turn those into possibilities, the second thing is you must stay moving always. Hear me on this. You must stay moving always. You see, there's an old saying, who said that? Oh my gosh, I lost. Theodore Roosevelt, I believe. He said that all people will either wear out or rust out. And me personally, I'd rather wear out, right? One or the other is going to happen. You are either going to wear out or you are going to rust out. There is an end. You do have an end in this life, in this physical form. And you can go out one of two ways. You can wear out by keeping moving forward, or you can rust out by sitting still like a bump on a log. What tends to happen, the difference between the people who turn obstacles into opportunities and the people who allow the obstacles and their problems to stand in the way, is that people who turn obstacles into opportunities are always moving. We don't dwell in it. We don't sit in it. We make mistakes. We fail. We fall flat on our face, but we don't wallow. Get up, wipe the mud off of your eyes, and keep it moving, my friends. Keep moving forward. That's number 2. Number 3, if you want to change your obstacles into opportunities, the third thing that you need to know is that what's right is what works. There are a lot of type A people in the room right now that might have a hard time with this. But I need you to understand me, hear me clearly. What's right is what works. You see, I need you to quit worrying about how it was supposed to be. If it is working, then it is working. You see, in jiu-jitsu and other martial arts, they have very technical strategies on how they fight, on hand-to-hand combat, on what's supposed to work, on how you do the takedown. They train every single day on very specific combat strategies to win the battle. But ultimately, all that matters is you get that dude on the mat. You get the dude on the mat, you pin him down, the referee says boom, 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 you win, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you were supposed to do a one kick by a flying combo, and you were supposed to do this, and this is how you studied it, and this is how you trained it, and this is how it was supposed to go. If it works, then it works. Fair enough? A lot of us get caught up in the process. Well, we were supposed to do it this way. What's right is what works every single time. Number 4, out of the 7 things that you need to know to be able to turn obstacles into opportunities. Number 4 is I need you to focus on something bigger than yourself. You see, you will be shocked in your life when you start thinking, how can I make it better for the next person, right? Sometimes there are obstacles that come in your life. There are obstacles that impede you, that slow you down. And sometimes you can't get enough energy. You can't muster up enough courage. You can't muster up enough strength to do it for you. So I need you to shift your mind a little bit and think, okay, well, maybe I can't do this for me, but how can I make it better for the next person? How can I lived my life a certain way, and maybe now I won't get the benefit or the gain for it, but how can someone else benefit? How can I make it better for someone else? You see, I'll give you a perfect example of this. I currently have something called the 800% Club. This is a group of automobile dealers all across the nation that I'm working with. And in this group, last month, we was our first month together in November. And this group, overall, we have 19 dealers in there. 15 out of the 19 dealers in the group experienced at least a 15% year-over-year growth from last year. My man Travis Flaherty right here had his best November in history. He broke the record, the all-time store record. He sold 101 cars. Last year they sold 62. He had 160. He was up 163% year over year, and he's taking his team out for steak dinners because of it. But you see, I used to work in one dealership and I was able to impact change for that one, but I started to run into my own personal obstacles, my own personal struggles, and I started to think, how can I make this better for others? I've got 20 years in this industry. How can I serve more people to make it better for them so that their salespeople don't have to go through what I went through, so that their leadership doesn't have to go through what I went through? Yes, I can't fix that or change that for me. I can't go back in time and make my experience in the auto industry easier. However, I can do it for others. And see, once I saw that opportunity existed, I was able to create something new. And by creating something new, I've been able to increase, financially for me and my family. I've been able to create more opportunities to spend time with my family. I work with most of these dealers virtually instead of having to be physically there, which means more time. I've created opportunities. The obstacles are where the opportunities exist. Number 5 is I need you to stay positive. I need you to stay positive at all times, man. Positive energy. It takes you so far. There are studies that actually show that negative energy will slow you down. Negative energy will draw and attract other negative people. Negative energy will draw negative things into your life. Positive energy, a smile on your face, just exuding positive energy, that in itself will create new opportunities for you. Isn't that amazing? Like, it's proven they can go. Science can show that your brain, your thoughts, your physical thoughts actually carry energy with them that can be measured by a machine. So when you stay positive, you attract positive things into your life. If you want to turn your obstacles into opportunities, stay positive. The number 6 thing, I got 2 more, I got to run through them fast. Number 6 thing is I want you to ask for help. Man, so many of us are always afraid to ask for help. We're like, no, we got this. I'll figure it out on my own. I don't need any help. We let our ego and our pride get in the way. I need you to ask for help. If there's a problem in your life right now, there's something that you're struggling with, there's an obstacle that's in your way, it's keeping you from your greatness and from your destiny, I want you to ask for help. If there's an area in your life where you're not skilled, you're not knowledgeable, you don't have the wisdom, don't be afraid to ask for help. I'm telling you, I ask people for help all the time. Danelle Delgado, I ask her for help. Brian Benstock, Lisa Copeland. I reach out to people like Scott Simons. I reach out to Liza, Steve Brewster. I ask my wife for help. I ask for help all the time. I'm not afraid to ask for help because I know ultimately what I don't know what I don't know. And you don't know what you don't know. So you got to ask for help. Listen, that's part of the reason I created this platform, Rise and Grind University, where I've pulled together experts from all over the United States that can help you in many different areas of life. If you have not signed up for Rise and Grind University yet, I need you to go do that. It's $149 a year. $149 a year, and you're going to get access to people like Benstock. I'm going to get him to do a course in here. But these are the people that can help you turn your obstacles into opportunities. I want to help you do that. So make sure you sign up. You can go to riseandgrinduniversity.com. $149 a year, or you can pay for it monthly, however you want to do it, and we can help you. Me and my friends can help you. Number 7, the last thing. If you want to turn your obstacles into opportunities, I need you to know that no matter who you are, all right, you were born with a very unique purpose. We were each born with a unique purpose. It's a divine purpose, one that you were ultimately built for. Because see, you, my friend, are a child of God. Uniquely made by the God of the universe. The God who made everything made you specifically for a reason. And see, because of that, the decisions that you make today, they all matter. Every single one. They may seem small, but they make an impact on your friends, on your family members, on your coworkers. You've made a massive impact in my life. I, for one, absolutely stinking love you for it. Listen, if nobody's told you that yet today, I want to be the first. I absolutely stinking love you. But hear me out. If you want to turn your obstacles into opportunities, know that you are here for a reason. You are the only one who can create. You are the only one who's going to get out there and shovel that snow. You are the only one who's going to reach out to Google and solve some of the automotive industry's problems. It's you. You're the only one. God gave it to you. I need you to do something with it. Listen, thanks for joining me this morning on hashtag Rise and Grind. I know I had to run through some of those, so if you need to, play it back. Or if you have a friend or a family member who you feel needs to hear some of these things, make sure you tag them. Make sure you share this out. If you haven't already, sign up for Rise and Grind University, please. I am telling you, it is a plethora of wisdom and knowledge at your fingertips. Full access from your mobile phone, iPad, wherever you want to watch it at for only $149 a year. It's absolutely incredible. But most importantly, will you do me a favor? Will you please come back here again tomorrow morning at 5:30 a.m. because we're going to do this all over again on hashtag Rise and Grind. I love a show like that. That show is fire. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. Pow!